Hello, this is the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Thank you so much for tuning into this video in which we'll graph circles. So circles are relations and not functions. So by the end of this video, you should be able to find their center and radius and also graph them. So if I have the equation x plus a squared plus y plus b squared equals r squared, that is a circle. Note here the x and the y are both squared, making it different from a parabola. So the center of this circle is minus a minus b. The negative of this is the x coordinate, the negative of this is the y coordinate of the center. And then this number by itself, you square root it to get r, which is the radius. So you need to find the center and radius first before you can graph. So let's look at an example. So we want to graph this relation here, x plus 2 all squared plus y minus 3 all squared equals 9. So we need to start by finding the center and the radius. So the center is just minus 2, 3. The negative of this gives the x coordinate, negative of this, the y coordinate of the center. So the radius isn't 9, the radius is the square root of 9, which is 3. So the radius has to always be a positive number. So let's plot the center and radius and then graph this. So the center of this circle is at minus 2, 3, which is that point there. So we mark that. Now the radius is 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to go 3 units in all directions from the center. So we're going to go 3 up. We're going to go 3 to the right, 3 down, and then 3 to the left. And this graph will be this circle that joins all 4 of those points. And there we have it. Our graph looks like this. It's just a circle. Don't worry if you're not exactly accurate. No one can draw a perfect circle. So as I said before, this is not a function. There are heaps of places I could draw a vertical line like here or here, and these vertical lines hit the graph more than once. That is why this is a relation and not a function. Okay, let's say I wanted to graph the relation x squared plus y squared equals 4. So this is actually the same form as up here. This will be a circle. It will just have center, origin, and radius square root of 4, which is 2. So if I wanted to graph it, I'm just going to mark the center of the origin, and I'm going to go 2 in each direction, and then join it up to make a circle. And again, it would look something like this. So it is once again not a function. The vertical line test, you can see this line here, the y-axis, actually hits the graph more than once. But it turns out I can write this as 2 functions put together. So I could rearrange this equation up here. Now, just to get the top half, see this blue part here, just the top half of the circle. That is a function just by itself. So I could find the equation of that by rearranging the equation at the top. So I just take my equation here and subtract x squared from both sides. Now I can square root each side. So this here is the equation of just the blue. Now, the bottom half is by itself a function. So if you look at just the green part, it is a function. And its equation, very similarly, is the negative square root of minus 4 minus x squared. So the blue is a function by itself, the green is a function by itself, but when you put them together, you get something that is not a function because it doesn't satisfy the vertical line test. So let's just look quickly at the domain and range in each graph. So for the left one, we see the domain, x can only go from minus 2 to 2. So we are including the values minus 2 and 2, so that's why there's a less than or equal to sign. Remember, this is how we write x, such that x is between minus 2 and 2. So the domain of this relation over here, so note the value over here would be minus 5. So the domain x can take any value between and including minus 5, and over here it's positive 1. And so for this second one, you can see very similarly the range would be from 0 all the way up to 6. Once again, we need squiggly brackets to indicate that this is a set, and we are including the values 0 and 6. So what would be the range for this one? Well, it would be from -2 to 2 if we were looking at the whole red circle. But of course, if we looked at just the blue function, the range would be y's between and including 0 and 2. And if we looked at just the green circle, its range would be y is between including -2 and 0. Alright, thank you so much for tuning into this video. This has been the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Have a great day.